This is the way it will be for those who hoard things for themselves, but aren't rich toward God. Then Jesus said to his disciples, "Therefore I say to you, don't worry about your life, what you'll eat, or about your body, what you'll wear. There's more to life than food and more to the body than clothing." Notice how, consider the ravens. They neither plant nor harvest. They have no silo or barn, yet God feeds them. You're worth so much more than birds. Who among you by worrying can add a single moment to your life? If you can't do such a small thing, why worry about the rest? Notice how the lilies grow. They don't wear themselves out with work, and they don't spin cloth. But I say to you that even Solomon in all his splendor wasn't dressed like one of these. If God dresses grass in the field so beautifully, even though it's alive today, and tomorrow it's thrown into the furnace, how much more will God do for you, you people of weak faith? Don't chase after what you'll eat or what you'll drink. Stop worrying. All the nations of the world long for these things, and your Father knows that you need them. Instead, desire his kingdom, and these things will be given to you as well. Don't be afraid, little flock, because your Father delights in giving you the kingdom. Make for yourselves sell your possessions and give to those in need. Make for yourselves wallets that don't wear out, a treasure in heaven that never runs out. No thief comes near there, and no moth destroys. Where your treasure is, there your heart will be too. Be dressed for service and keep your lamps lit. Be like people waiting for their master to come home from a wedding celebration, who can immediately open the door for him when he arrives and knocks on the door. Happy are those servants whom the master finds waiting up when he arrives. I assure you that when he arrives, he'll dress himself to serve, seat them at the table as honored guests, and wait on them. Happy are those whom he finds alert, even if he comes at midnight or just before dawn. But know this, if the homeowner had known what time the thief was coming, he wouldn't have allowed his home to be broken into. You also must be alert, because the human one is coming at a time when you don't expect him. Peter said, "Lord, are you telling this parable for us or for everyone?" The Lord replied, "Who are the faithful and wise managers, whom the master will put in charge of his household servants to give them their food at the proper time? Happy are those servants whom the master finds fulfilling their responsibilities when he comes. I assure you that the master will put them in charge of all his possessions. But suppose that these servants should say to themselves, 'My master is taking his time about coming.' And suppose they began to beat the servants, both men and women, and to eat, drink, and get drunk. The master of those servants will come on a day they weren't expecting, at a time they couldn't predict. The master will cut them into pieces and assign them a place with the unfaithful. That servant who knew his master's will but didn't prepare for it or act on it will be beaten severely. The one who didn't know the master's will but did things deserving punishment will be beaten only a little. Much will be demanded from everyone who has been given much, and from the one who has been entrusted with much, even more will be asked. I came to cast fire on the earth. How I wish that it was already ablaze. I have a baptism I must experience. How I'm distressed until it's completed. Do you think that I've come to bring peace to the earth? No, I tell you, I've come instead to bring division. From now on, a household of 5 will be divided. 3 against 2 and 2 against 3. Father will square off against son and son against father, and mother against daughter and daughter against mother, and mother-in-law against daughter-in-law, and daughter-in-law against mother-in-law. Jesus also said to the crowds, when you see a cloud forming in the west, you immediately say it's going to rain. And indeed it does. And when a south wind blows, you say a heat wave is coming. And it does. Hypocrites. You know how to interpret conditions on earth and in the sky. How is it that you don't know how to interpret the present time? And why don't you judge for yourselves what is right? As you're going to court with your accuser, make your best effort to reach a settlement along the way. Otherwise, your accuser may bring you before the judge, and the judge hand you over to the officer, and the officer throw you into prison. I tell you, you won't get out of there until you've paid the very last cent.